action.
Somebody said, nice booty.
Man. What's up, folks? Kevin here, the Tattoo Toy Hunter. And as always, my co-hosts and friends, Harry, Sandman PR Vlogs YouTube, David Blucher's Videos and Collectibles YouTube. And it's another week and another episode 10. So that's pretty exciting to hit 10 episodes.
Strong. Big milestone, boys.
Big milestone.
Congratulations.
So, starting with you, Harry, how's the week been for you?
Well, I got a Christmas tree up. We're starting to get festive over here in this house. We are just a matter of weeks from Turkey Day. We're going to try and accommodate the podcast as the weeks come closer to the holidays as best as we can. Scheduling is a nightmare for the three of us during normal weeks. I can only imagine when we throw in visiting loved ones and relatives and work schedule. Yeah, like Dave's job, his schedule can change on the fly based on production. So we're going to do our best to fulfill our duties and do an episode every week. That's our goal. 10 episodes is a big milestone, I feel. I'm proud of both of you. Thank you for not giving up at this point. I know it's easier to just toss in the towel and just, say F it. Thank you for the effort from both of you to continue. And I think, we got something special here, so it's worth continuing to. I know it's not easy, though. Nobody who doesn't do this knows the challenges behind it.
Right.
That's all I got. Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Much better. My back feels a whole lot better after being on the 6-day supply of steroids, But other than that, I'm doing health-wise for the time being, should I say. I'm doing a lot better. I'm just finishing my favorite drink, one of my favorite drinks, the orange vanilla Coke. I know a lot of people it's nasty, but I love this shit. This is something I can.
It's too syrupy for me. I like the taste, but it's a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of people
on the syrups.
Yeah, a lot of people complain about the aftertaste of it, though. But I mean, I get it.
The theory of it is very good. There's supposed to be a special edition cinnamon Coke coming out for the holidays.
That one.
And that's something that's available in the UK year round. Cinnamon Coke. They're gonna try it over here and see how it does.
But other than that, been a busy week. I worked 6 days this past week. Only had one day off. Just to touch up on what Harry was saying as far as scheduling conflict, I know that Kevin's schedule is always on the fly, basically.
That man worked 120 hours this week.
Yeah, and so you never know when he's got to go in, especially on weekends. He's always on calls on weekends and stuff. So, and then Harry, he works a regular 9-to-5 job, basically, as do I. But he works in the mornings, and I work in the no, you work second shift, don't you?
I do. I'm the same shift as you.
Yeah.
I'm 2 to 11.
We work second shift, so kind of.
But different time zones.
Yeah. So it does get challenging, especially when we have like one day off, and then we try to cram everything in together. But
another thing is I just can't stay awake like I used to, man. You try to use your weekends to handle everything that you've neglected all week long. And you're like, yeah, I'll do all this, and then I'll do what I really want to do after everything's said and done. And then 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock rolls around, you can't keep your eyes open. You're just
right.
I'm just at that age, bro. I can't stay up anymore.
But other than that, the last thing, I got my cars inspected, so I finally was able to get everything passed and update for another year.
That's a King Kong sized monkey off your back, finally having that done.
Yeah.
The stress.
Yeah. So that's the perks of owning 2 cars. It's my first time really owning 2 cars this year. So just trying to keep both of them up to date, gas filled up, oil changed out, tires aired up, all that fun stuff. Hell, it's hard to keep up with 1 car as it is, but 2 cars alone.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Other than that, that's all I got for right now.
We'll see what the TTH has to say, how hectic his week's been.
Well, a lot of hours. I could have not worked yesterday, but Actually, I initially turned down the shift. I've already worked 100 hours. When I got out Friday, when I worked Friday and got out Saturday morning, that was my 100 hours. And they asked me to work Saturday, and I told them no. But they have what they call incentives, and they'll offer you, aside from the hours you'll work extra, they offer you X amount of dollars. And I'm like a sucker for it every time, man. I was exhausted. I didn't want
Who
to.
could turn it down this time of year, especially where you need all the extra you can get, especially
Yeah, exactly.
kids, food, the food expenses,
Food expensive, alcohol.
and then what y'all spend on your Halloween, 6,000 pieces of candy given away to Kingsville.
All right,
It was a lot of candy. That was a lot of fun.
And that was full-size candy bars, Kev said. It wasn't bite-size.
Well, they weren't. They're a little bit bigger than the bite.
The next tier up. Snack size.
Yeah. So I wasn't really home much this week.
No, you weren't.
I did pick up a few items this week. I did a little toy hunting.
Yeah.
I got
You
some,
still made
vintage
content
cars.
regardless.
Oh yeah, that's the one good thing about that line of work is that when I'm not on a call and I'm basically doing nothing, we're like basically at home. So I picked up a few things. I got a couple of I went to that Finders Keepers, that indoor flea market here. They had their official grand opening, even though they've been open for a month. And we found some amazing stuff. So I got a few vintage card that what is it, the cow dinosaurs and Cadillacs or and, I got some old Super DC Super Friends carded and picked up some other stuff. I got Peely.
Yeah. We're still waiting on your review of Peely.
I need to, yeah. I got some Toonie Terror.
Take him to the tattoo parlor and give us the 411 on your opinion of it. We've seen everybody else's.
Yeah, I need to. I've been meaning to. I almost did today. I had them out, but I didn't get a chance to. And then earlier today, we went for a little ride in town and ended up stopping at the GameStop, and I picked up their new DC Funko mystery box. Only one, though. People are open 8 or 10 at a time to try to get a chase pop. I just got one box, and that one box was a chase.
Don't tell me you hit the chase on the first one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, there was 2 chases in it.
What was the second one besides the Funko Pop?
There was the Batman Funko Pop, and then it was Batman, some kind of, I think, a mini.
Like the keychain or something?
Sort of like that, yeah, like a keychain. It was a chase as well. Glow in the dark. It was
2
cool.
chases, 1 box. GameStop hooked it up.
So other than that, I got tonight off, which I'm super stoked for, is our Rick and Morty season 4. And then back to work again. I work 72 hours this week. So not as
For
quite
now.
as much.
Right now, it's on paper 72 hours.
Yeah, right. And
You'll be over 100.
when they really need help is the weekend, because all the people they have employed at that second job is part-timers. So everybody wants their weekends off. It's hard to get weekend coverage. No one wants to work them.
Yeah.
I don't want to work them either. But, when they start flashing green around.
You need that money.
Money talks.
Green is one of our favorite colors.
Everyone's trying to get caught up, but let's see. I had a pickup myself. I got a mail call from Dudog. I finally got Heimdall in hand from the Marvel Legends Endgame Wave 3. I guess that wave is starting to trickle in the store some more now.
Right.
I've only seen the cap in person, but at my Walmart, but none of the other ones. I wouldn't mind that Iron Man. I'm on the fence about the Iron Man. I really want a better one than the one I had, but they've yet to make in my opinion, they have yet to release a Marvel Legend Iron Man that does the Infinity War and Endgame Iron Man Tony justice. So I expect them to do a re-release of that one from this wave that has the unmasked head, and it has the nano gauntlet that actually fits on Tony's armor, like his.
That's on this new Iron Man?
No, it's not. The one that comes with this new one in Wave 3, it will only fit the Build-A-Figure Hulk from Wave 2.
But it does come with a gauntlet?
It comes with a nano gauntlet, but it's one that's designed for the Smart Hulk bath.
Yeah.
it will not work on Tony. And there was no unmasked Tony head with the Endgame likeness, with Robert Downey Jr.'s updated likeness. Like, they haven't done an unmasked Robert Downey Jr. Marvel Legends since the 2-pack with the Mark I and the suited Tony Hawk.
Oh,
I mean,
I
Tony
got that one. I got that one.
Stark.
Yeah.
They need an
one with
updated
Mark-
one. I would love one that has the face shield up,
That would be cool.
where it's helmeted and it's a Robert Downey Jr.'s likeness, but it's in the helmet with the face thing up.
That'd be cool. And
I
it
think
worked.
that would be sick.
Yeah, and it
If
actually worked.
Hasbro, wanted to do something original.
Well,
And I would love, like, just the scene of him saying, "I am Iron Man." You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And I am the scene from Endgame, the big, like, that he did on the fly. It wasn't written for him to say that.
No, really.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's my pickup. Dave, you went to
kinda
Retro's
wanted to-
Madness, didn't you?
Yes, actually I did. I did stop at Retro Madness on the way to work, and I just looked around real quick. I was only in there for like maybe 20 minutes or anything. It wasn't anything that I was. I just mainly stopped by there to just kind of scout and see what they got.
Take a gander, as they say.
Yeah. So they had a few things that I saw that I was interested in picking up. That I knew that was just going to be sitting for a while. You can tell what's going to be moving and what's not, But I did check out Narc's pickup from Retro Madness, and he got that complete Scare Glow.
Oh, no, don't say that around Kevin.
I already saw the video.
Yeah, you already saw the video. We was already talking about that. But
That's his
yeah.
white whale. That's your Moby Dick, is a Scare Glow.
That's all of our vintage collectors like that, or
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I wouldn't mind having one, So, but I did pick up a couple things. I did stop by in the beginning of the week at Ross, and I was able to pick up this TIE Fighter, to go along with my vintage collection
It
one.
was just a few dollars or what?
Yeah, it was only like $7.
Oh, that's not bad.
And let's see, what else did I get? I did pick up this. I did have to order this off of Walmart.com. It was in stock again.
my Walmart had got that today. It's
Any
there.
luck in finding something to hoist them in the air on your bookshelf? The way the Taka art does?
I have to get those off online.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are they? Are they like decorative napkin things that you put on the table to hold napkins up on tables or something?
No, they're action figure stands. You can, you can clip on the waist of your 6-inch figures and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Like
that's what
play-
he uses. He just uses that and just sets them on there. So I only have one. The only one I have, it's in the shelf, but it's one of those neck stands, light stands where you can like have them all flying out like that. But that's just for like one of my large pteranodons. So that's the only thing that I have.
What is the largest one, Dave?
Huh?
The pterodactyl type dinosaurs, toy wise. Since Kenner until present Mattel, what is the largest scale bird style dinosaur that has ever been released?
The one I know is the Quetzalcoatlus, and it's probably fairly large. It's a Savage Strike dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
It would peck at you and wings flap.
Is that a
That's-
Mattel item from the JPJW or?
Yeah, it's from the Dino Rivals line, and since the Dino Rivals line is coming to a close, they're gearing up for their next wave of figures for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, technically, they're trickling in at Targets, the little smaller size attack pack dinosaurs, and that's going to be called the let's see, what is it called again? Primal Age line. Jurassic World Primal Age. And so for people that have been picking up the smaller wave one of the attack packs, and there's like two, was it one repack, one repack, one repaint, and two brand new species.
Okay. So there's something that has been released before that's going to come with that wave as well.
Yes. So then
So
my final picture,
realistically, that could be the final wave you're going to get before they start making
Yes,
stuff for the next film, right?
because then in 2021, that's when they'll gear up for the final film toy line and stuff.
So you still have all of 2020 in between the release of the next and probably last Jurassic World film.
Yes, and then after that, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it really depends on how that film does. And I can only imagine with the original cast, meaning the Jurassic World cast,
Mhm.
it's going to be phenomenal in the box office. It's going to be
I
amazing.
just hope that the screen time will be even, and I did find out that the one or two characters from the second film, Zia and Franklin, they'll be back for part 3.
Oh, yeah.
Girl
The
that
hacker guy and the one that was like the nurse or whatever.
the animal doctor, a dinosaur
Yeah.
doctor. Yeah,
The one that did
They'll
the
be-
blood transfusion for Blue. It's got T-Rex blood in him now.
yeah.
They're pretty funny.
That'd be
But-
cool if Blue gained the ability to like command T-Rexes because he has their blood in him.
Now,
He
in
starts-
reality,
Like a T-Rex comes and it's gonna eat Blue, but it smells the blood and it backs off. And then it
But-
just waits for Blue's orders. And
now you got to think in reality, you wouldn't be able to really do that. I mean, it could work.
how do you know? You ever
But-
made a dinosaur?
I don't know. Am I? But my final pickup is this thing. It's the Battle Damage Spinosaur.
Oh,
This is one of the things I've been after too. So I'm pretty much anything that's out there is just fair game for me. The Brachiosaurus and this thing was my main things that I wanted to pick up. So there is a couple of other stuff out there that I want to get called the Margosaurus, and I want to get that Quetzalcoatlus, and that should be okay because all the other stuff is pretty much. I did have a friend from Canada. He went ahead and picked me up the Battle Damage smaller assortment line that hasn't hit the States, and I don't think it's ever going to hit the States. He went ahead and
do you have Big Lots in your area?
any Big Lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got one here in town, and they're all over.
The Big Lots in my area, we only have one, and I was checking their toy aisle, and they had a lot of the human characters at my Big Lot.
Mm-hmm.
They're like little bitty though. They're like the
Three-
packages are small, and they're definitely not on scale with what the Kenner figures were. These are like little bitty guys.
No, the Kenners are like 4 inches. And
These are like what, 3?
yeah,
Like smaller than a GI Joe, it seems.
They're in scale with the GI Joes. Let me-
Oh, do
hold on,
they?
let me-
Go on.
All right, let's do a quick comparison. Here we got a 25th anniversary of Cobra Commander,
Yeah.
and here
Looks good.
is
There's
so they're pretty much almost in scale. They're a
yeah,
little
they're
bit
smaller though.
So they're probably like 3.5 maybe.
Probably 3 even.
Because he's a Cobra's 3 3/4.
So maybe he's 3 1/4.
Yeah, maybe like 3 1/4, somewhere in there, just over 3. I miss the 4 or 5 inch, whatever the
Mhm.
90s were. I like that size scale.
Yeah. Kenner, with the size that Kenner made popular.
Yeah, those were my
Like
favorites.
whenever a Batman movie would come out,
Yeah,
those size. Didn't you, Kevin, didn't you recently find like some new Batman stuff on the shelves?
did I?
Like they look like Kenner style, like the appearance. It's the square jaw animated series style toys.
Well, they
I
have
got
that Batman, the Batman Turtles thing they started coming out with.
This
It's
was
got-
in a Walmart or a Target or even maybe HEB. It was just
Yeah.
like these random Batman figures that were not 6 inch and they were like in blister packs.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's something. I don't because we just had. What did we just have? The 80-year Batman 80 years.
Yeah, it is his anniversary this year.
So I think that's why they
Just
started
like
coming out with
Marvel,
those.
Batman, and Marvel, the same anniversary.
Yeah,
It's like 80 years.
80-year Batman. So
This
they
would be a
started-
good time to plug Toy Savages.
Toy Savages, guys. It's a Facebook page that we have, basically for toys and collectibles, people that collect, like-minded collectors. Say like-minded, but mostly adult
Luker doesn't like
collectors.
to admit it, but he's an admin of Toy Savages too.
He's an admin. We're all admins of Toy
Sometimes I
Savages.
forget that I am.
You can go ahead and tell everybody about your Facebook group, which is the one that I love as far as sharing what I'm watching and get
Oh,
ideas of what to watch. I love, your group for that purpose.
yeah, I do have a group that I made, I think about 3-4 years ago. I don't remember how long ago it was. It's called Blucher's Videos and Collectibles. And originally it was called Blucher's Videos, and it was basically a theme, just kind of like a video store. And originally all it started out as all you post is like your purchases, movies you own, and stuff like that. It wasn't anything about what you was watching, but as slowly as it started to evolve, it got it to be a little bit more mainstream to where you can post what you're watching and movie news or just videos in general for like you can share from YouTube or Facebook, just as long as it's something that's a video that's within, that's not has anything to do with government issues or religion or anything like that.
Better have the governor on there.
So anything else, as far as it's just a proper video and it's based around movies and TVs and stuff, then you can share all that kind of stuff. Share your movie collections and pickups, and then after a while, we started getting into more collectibles and stuff, and people had started showing their toys and stuff, and so I just changed it to Lucas Videos and Collectibles. But I'm real picky about who I add in that group because I don't want to add a bunch of people and then nobody participates. So it's just like I have to be cautious of who I add, and if you hadn't been active for a while, I'll go ahead and delete you.
With that being said, if you know Kevin, me, and Dave, and you're in Toy Savages, and you feel that you would be a good fit to David's video group, you can hop at any of the three of us, and we can talk about getting you in there if you feel.
Yeah, you have to at least post something. I don't, or comment or like. You don't have to like.
You don't want a stagnant member that's not going to participate.
Yeah, just as long as you comment.
You don't want no scrubs, as they say.
Yeah, because I do have a lot of people that that's all they do is comment and stuff, and that's fine as long as you're active.
I'm a commenter.
So.
Tell me something food. Somebody's been barbecuing today again. Some delicious meats.
Now that we
tell us about it, man. Make my mouth water.
Man, I did last week. I started doing some New York strips, and everybody went crazy. So now I have to make New York strips every week. I like ribeye better, but I've been making New York strips.
Oh, poor baby! You just have to settle for a New York strip.
It's a rough life. But yeah, we're having the last few weeks. We've been having nicer weather down here. It's not 100 degrees,
Yeah.
So
you're enjoying your yard.
Yeah, it's fall weather, and we're loving it. We all get out there and hang out together and barbecue, watch the animals play. And
do you guys do
cats and dogs too?
Corn tortillas on the grill? You ever try that?
I love corn tortillas, but no, the wife is always like kind of ketoing and stuff. So
you should try that for yourself.
Oh,
Put some corn tortillas on the grill. They get hard and crunchy.
Right, yeah, like cracker.
I love them.
I do, bud. 46 years. I've eaten a lot of tortillas.
I'd say, man. I'd say. If only there was an app for that tortilla counter.
Yeah, tortilla counter. But yeah, other than that, man, food's kind of crappy at work though, because we're up at night. Sometimes we're asleep during the day, so it's hard to eat healthier.
No interesting late night finds in the food, like in your. You guys are there's so little to choose from for you all where y'all work.
Now that you mentioned that, I did that Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah. Tell us about it.
It was okay. I wasn't like super crazy about it.
It didn't wow you.
Yeah, it didn't wow me. It was okay, but it
It
wasn't.
wasn't
like
a bad chicken sandwich, but it was nothing to write home about.
Yeah, and by the same token, I have never had the other people either. What's their names?
Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, I've never had Chick-fil-A.
Oh my God, you haven't lived, bro.
Yeah,
So
Chick-fil-A's
do
good,
need
man.
They use
used to get
peanut oil.
peanut oil.
Yeah.
Well, I was told also they butter the bun. Like inside, they put a bunch of butter.
Yeah, they do, but that's not what's great about Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, the consistency of the service and the order accuracy, and just the overall, when you walk in there, you're walking into the Apple Store fast food restaurants. It's so clean.
Right.
Everybody in there is so friendly, and they have big smiles, and they never seem like they're angry.
Yeah.
Like you're treated like a human and not another, they don't, you're not making somebody, you're not asking them to do a huge favor to wait on you.
Right. Yeah. I need to try it.
The presentation of the of Chick-fil-A, the ability to go there and get the same service each time is very, very high.
Yeah.
The consistency of Chick-fil-A.
People are more into that. I've noticed they're looking at all the people that are responding to the kind of, I guess, the challenge of the two.
It's a much smaller sandwich, though. Obviously, Popeyes has gone with quantity over quality here. They have a bigger piece of chicken. It looks like a claw almost, the way it's like.
Yeah, it's odd looking. I thought it was kind of
like the way they've broken it up into like a mandible claw kind of sandwich. That's a cool accessory. That brings me back.
Yeah, this is an 80s visionary.
Oh man, look how good the hologram still is on that.
Yeah, it works pretty good. And then I got a whole
That's it.
lot of these Simpsons guys, Playmates. I got Bartman. Little Bartman here.
Let's do a beer check. Yeah. Beer check.
No Shave November.
We're week 2 of No Shave November.
Well, I shaved my head today, but
that's fine. That's allowed.
Nice and shaved.
Beer's looking nice and full over there, Dave. Evenly colored.
A little bit of white right there.
I have a little bit of white myself right here.
Me too.
Not
so much here, but right here.
Got that little white strip.
The skunk strip.
I'm waiting for this to connect right here. I'm past the itchy stage, so Sam is more accepting of it now.
That's good. That's good.
When you get past that phase, they get way less angry about it.
I know a lot of people are a lot of women are real picky about that. They don't like it.
Yeah.
My wife prefers mine fully grown out. When I get 2 inches of hang, she prefers it like a biker beard. She likes it.
Yeah.
Of course, I do have
I'm gonna grab on to you when she needs to get your attention.
Yeah.
I remember one time when I used to, it was a couple of years ago, but I had like an Amish beard down to here at one point in time. And then there's also a time where I had I had an Anvil look, the Jim the Anvil Neidhart look, all the way down to here and everything. It looks pretty crazy.
You could do an Abraham Lincoln, man. You could pull off Abraham Lincoln stuff.
The Anvil, I like how he has it squared off, like a long goatee.
Oh, anvils, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That looks cool.
Jim Neidhart. Yeah, that's what I had at one time.
Well, Savage Sports, this week we have a little bit of a what you would call an exhibition. These are 2 mega tubers that have been talking smack to each other. They actually fought a year ago in a way less intense exhibition match where they had full headgear and way more protective gloves than what you and I, the 3 of us, watched that took place yesterday. And that is KSI versus Logan Paul. These are guys that have millions of subscribers, millions. And they've been talking so much smack that they went to the trouble of hiring trainers, living on a boxer's diet and exercise regime to have.
Wow.
Who won the first match?
It was a tie. It was a draw. There was no winner.
They're worthless.
But I've been told that Logan Paul gassed out at the third round last year. After the third round, he wasn't throwing as many punches. He was just gassed. He was able to fight the entire time this time. And this 6 rounds, as you saw in the video I sent you boys, Logan Paul was able. And like David's point of view, he says in his opinion, Paul won that fight, but where he lost 2 points from that shot to the back of the head when he was already down, that's what cost him the fight.
Yeah. And KSI, you could tell he gassed out at the last round. I mean, just
in the last round. But I will say in rounds 1 and 2 of this match, KSI was the aggressor. He was coming after Logan.
As far as time progresses, he was slowly but surely gassing out as Paul was actually gearing.
Right. His plan was set into motion. All right, now this guy is tired. Time for me to pick my shots.
But if he was able to do that, then he really got his cardio on point.
Yeah, his cardio was up.
Paul is actually heavier this year than he was last year. He's right at 200 pounds, which he says 200 pounds is his walk-around weight when he's not training.
Yeah.
And KSI is a much smaller guy, like 170-ish, lean, quicker. You got to give both these guys props for going out there and putting them. They're not boxers by profession.
Right.
It's cool that they did it. I'm sure they got together and said, "Hey, let's."
There's a whole lot of tubers that like to talk mess on YouTube about other guys, and they would never even consider, like, if they saw each other at a YouTube convention or something like that, they would go the other direction. That's how cowardly they are. These guys, both of them, are definitely not cowards.
Yeah, and KSI. KSI.
Dave versus Pixel.
It's on.
Who are you gonna box, Kev?
Yeah,
he beats me
Shardamus Prime.
Shardamus. He's got the hair and tats. Maybe he's cool. I don't know. Maybe he fights.
I'll take the guy from Toy Galaxy. He looks like a ninny.
But yeah, KSI said that there wasn't going to be a trilogy. He wasn't going to fight him again.
No, KSI did not want. It's over. I can't stand his accent, man. I can't stand his accent.
Oh, he didn't want a round 3, third.
No, he does not want to give Paul. Paul wants a third one, but KSI's like, nope.
Done.
It'll happen.
Back of the head.
Yeah. They'll make it happen.
Like they squashed their little beef.
Yeah.
And it could have been made up from the beginning. Who knows?
Sure. YouTube, after all. Utah. Why'd you do that for, Blucher? You're all sideways now.
I don't know. Something happened. What the
Let's
heck?
move right along while he's figuring out what part of the Matrix he's in.
Sorry about this. Oh, what happened was some ad on my phone, Metro ad, just popped out of nowhere, threw me
Metro
off.
PCS. This video is sponsored by Metro PCS. So also last night was AEW's pay-per-view, Full Gear. This is the first pay-per-view they've had since they've been on TNT. Not the first pay-per-view ever, because we know this brand was born as a pay-per-view only kind of thing first. So Cody versus Jericho for the belt, and Omega versus Ambrose, or I'm sorry,
John Moxley.
Moxley, yeah.
And I watched that match in its entirety. It was very gory, but I've seen worse.
Yeah, it ain't no Japanese style match.
No, it wasn't no death match where they set you on fire and they use staple guns on you and stuff. Like, there was a mouse trap board. Thought the worst thing was when they used the spring bed, the bed of razor wire or whatever.
But the first match that they put on was the what was it? The was Santana and Ortiz versus the Young Bucks. That was actually a pretty good match right there from the highlights.
They call themselves LAX or something?
In TNA, but they couldn't use that name because that's TNA's.
Oh,
right?
So now they're whatever.
Santana and Ortiz.
Oh, okay.
That's what they were known as in TNA, but I think those are their real names. But they just was able to.
They're
use.
part of Jericho's inner circle.
Yeah, they don't have an actual tag team name yet. And then they shouldn't, because Santana and Ortiz. That's just fine with me. But it was funny seeing Rock and Roll Express get
Yeah, yeah.
get up there and
That
get dirty.
one did that thing off the
Like,
rope there. Crazy, man.
Uh,
Isn't they in their 60s or something?
Yeah,
Good
they're up.
Lord.
And they still wrestle. They still wrestle. But also, what was the tag team tournament match? What was it with the Lucha Brothers versus what was it? What's the team with Christopher Daniels and Scorpio Sky?
Yeah, they have the belts, right?
There's Arian. Yeah, I forgot the
They
name
have
of
the
that.
belts right now. They're called something after California. Something to do with California.
Mm-hmm.
It's an abbreviated something. I know what you're talking about though. They retained the titles as far as I heard.
Who was the other team that they went against? I forgot already.
They have a lot of tag teams that are very acrobatic, very athletic.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing with AEW is they're not a big man's game like WWE is. They're like more of the smaller guys. And Harry, I know that you noticed this, that their attendance level has dropped dramatically. And I think one of the issues that they have is they don't have a lot of big guys, if hardly any. The big guy that I know that they have is
Jake Hager.
Yeah, and
he's not really wrestling, right? He's like a third.
But they don't have a big or anybody like that to go in, They
don't have no. I know Ryback got an offer from them, but he's on this kick where he don't want to work. He just wants to do social media and sell his protein powder. He's doing food reviews. Ryback does food review videos.
Wow, really? I've seen a couple.
He's like, I got the spicy Popeye sandwich and I got the regular. Feed me more, and he'll eat them both consecutively, like in his car.
And then Shell Shock.
Yeah, he does food reviews. You should check out his YouTube. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna have to check him out.
He does his opinions on each brand's show every week too.
Mm-hmm.
He loves talking shit about both brands.
Yeah, he do. I think he does his own podcast too.
Good, more power to him. What he is doing for himself wasn't possible 10, 20 years ago. When Vince got rid of you, you were in the independents wrestling for like $20 and like a piece of fried chicken. I mean, in high school gyms. He's making a living, dude. He's making a living.
It's pretty awesome.
Also, let's see what else happened on the show. I think they had the women's title match. I think they crowned the first.
Don't know. I didn't pay attention to any of that. How did that go?
It was all right. It wasn't nothing to really brag about, to be honest with you. It's just two Asian women that were wrestling for the title, and one of them won.
Yeah, one of them is that girl that always wears
won.
The white dress.
One of them won.
And Asian women, one of them won. Only on Savage Sports will you get this kind of.
That's racist.
Well, let's talk about the real thing about this whole pay-per-view. Cody lost.
Yeah, his best friend turned on him.
Right?
And he can never challenge for the belt again. I don't even like that little fucker that's his friend. MFG, whatever.
Yeah.
Like since when did Cody have him as a friend? Like,
oh, is that idiot with his tongue out all the time?
He's always wearing a scarf.
Yeah.
And he's always like right up Cody's butt, like in all their social media videos.
Cody just needs Goldberg or Gold Dust. I mean,
he needs to bring who's the guy that trained him, Dave, in WWE? The one that taught him the Alabama Slam. He was NASCAR driver.
Hardcore Holly.
Yeah, man. He needs to get him as in this war against Jericho's faction.
What is it? Sparky Thurman plug?
Yeah. He taught him. He did Alabama Slam on Jericho's ass last night.
Yeah. Well, one thing to touch up on, the other match I wanted to mention before we get back to the Cody thing, was it Sean Spears? He wrestled. I
Oh,
forgot-
he wrestled that Janela dude.
yeah,
Skinny
Joe
blonde
Janela.
wrestler.
And
Give me a break. Janela is like one of these polarizing guys that people are either on the, oh my God, he's the best thing since sliced bread.
you're not.
That looks like the fucker that cooked my pancakes at the Waffle House. Like, what's so impressive about him?
But what they're doing with Sean Spears is I like. You know,
Yeah.
And the WWE dropped a big ball on him big time when he
Well,
was.
Ty Dillinger, I mean, they seemed like they were setting him up for. They had long-term plans for him, and he's not a young chicken. He's been in the game for a long time. He's
He
my
wrestled-
age.
he
No,
wrestled.
he's younger than me. He's younger. He's younger than he's like 36.
Yeah. He wrestled the original ECW when they brought it back. He was there,
Mhm.
you know, as Sean Spears. But then
Mhm.
they got him again and branded him as Ty Dillinger. You know how over he was with NXT. And then when he came to SmackDown, he was over big time there. And then just all of a sudden, never saw him
They
again.
just stopped using him.
So,
He was just somebody that they were using in squash matches, or he'd be in the background not doing anything. I mean, more power to him. Who's that older guy they've paired him with as his senior
Tully
advisor?
Blanchard. That's
Who?
Tully Blanchard from
Okay.
for the Horsemen. He's one of the original.
He's really shrunk in his old age.
When you get older, you do
Everybody's
lose
got
height.
bigger.
You know, your
He's
muscles and
really
bones.
prunated, as they say.
It's funny. It was funny seeing him jumping off the steps, doing that power driver on Janela. Seeing an old guy his age doing that shit.
Yeah.
But all right, going back to the Cody thing. But like you mentioned, you know, he can never wrestle for the title again.
What a stupid stipulation. Who would agree to that?
Well, you know, in storyline modes, you know, they'll probably make up something where he can get another title shot or something like that.
Or maybe it's because he's truly looking at within the next 2 to 5 years, he doesn't want to wrestle anymore. He wants to just be behind the scenes in the truck, not getting his shit kicked out of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's obviously got that role. Him and Tony Khan are like this. So.
Well, you got to remember that Tony's the one that went to him because Tony's the ownership of it. A lot of people think that Cody's the owner. I mean,
He's not. He's just the owner bought his friendship.
And originally,
he's like, hey, you want to spend my dad's money? Cody's like, fuck yeah.
And so you got to remember back then, before they started this whole thing up, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks originally had a verbal agreement with WWE, and they were all set to go. And then Tony Khan came up to them and said, "Hey, how about this? We'll make you president, and you know, to run the show. You can run the show, you know." And they're like, "Okay, well, we've never done that before, so let's do it." So that's how they lost out on them, you know. But then again, who knows how they would have used them if they went to the WWE, you know.
I want to ask Kevin something. Kevin, what do you think of this legacy that Jericho's making for himself at 49 years old, being the first champion of AEW, this all new brand, and coming from the lineage of he was a big deal in WCW prior to going to the WWE.
Yeah, I've been a fan of his since a very young age for him. And
I mean, you're talking about the man who was in ECW, WCW. He traveled the world. He wrestled in Mexico. He wrestled in Abu Dhabi. Wherever they would pay him to wrestle, he would go.
Makes you wonder, did he learn the language? Because he wrestled so long in Japan and Mexico. I wonder how well he did, you know, adapting to the.
So this man's 49 years old. He's the current champ. He's got this inner circle thing going. I mean, like how great was his decision to side with this brand instead of stay his little thing that like WWE was obviously accommodating him when he felt like working, and then when he wanted to go do Fonzie, wanted to go tour and do TV projects, movies, they would work with him. But when he was there, they were using him to elevate younger talent.
Well, I think it's a great honor. You know, it should be a great honor for him for this is the beginnings of this AEW, and they decide to go with him for the main storyline to start off the whole thing. So it depends on how well AEW does. If it makes it, then I think that really solidifies him, even though he's been the champion everywhere around the world. If AEW makes it, I think it just kind of solidifies him as an all-around Hall of Fame wrestler. If they bottom out, then it may not mean crap in a few years.
Yeah. Because his decision to work with these folks at AEW, is that going to keep him from getting his rightful spot in the WWE Hall of Fame, you think?
I honestly don't think so. I kind of feel like if this goes sideways, Vince would pick him up again. He's been with Vince.
Oh yeah,
so
it
long.
would be foolish of Vince not to.
Yeah, and I don't think I have a feeling that he didn't leave in bad terms, because he always disappears for 8 months at a time or so and then goes back and I don't know. Maybe that's like you're saying, he tours. He has other stuff going on. But I kind of feel like it hurt him being a Hall of Famer, especially with all the other stuff. I mean, look at all the hate with the Warrior, with Hulk. I mean,
Yeah.
they all come back and become Hall of Famers after.
Guys that we thought would never, like Bret Hart.
Thought it was the burned bridge.
It is actually how many years? 22 years ago since the Montreal Screwjob.
Yeah.
Anniversary of
They still found
that.
a way eventually to get all them back in it and, become legendary contractors and Hall of Famers. So I don't think it is going to affect that. Plus, if they do well, we won't all look to WWE to be the end all for Hall of Fame. There's so many others. Like what if you're at Ring of Honor or TNA and you're a great wrestler and a champion, but you want to be a WWE Hall of Famer because that's what, everybody goes to. So they're still the top dog. We need someone to kind of put them down a little few notches.
Very good point. We are at the 45-minute mark.
And we know what time that means.
I'm thinking Dave's corner. I'm not sure if he's got one prepared or not.
Actually, honestly, I don't. So
Pick it up.
We could just talk about what we have been watching. How's that sound?
Okay.
This is a impromptu Dave's corner. We can talk about what you watched lately, what do you plan to watch, and the fact that this Tuesday is the launch of Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Finally is upon us.
Well, I haven't really been able to watch a whole lot here lately.
Yeah.
But I did. Well, finally was able to finish. Excuse me. I was able to finish. Excuse me. Mucus trying to kill me. But I did finish. I did finally finish watching The Dark Crystal. The Netflix series. I finally watched the last episode and everything.
Well, how'd you like it? How did it stack up to the original?
Since it is a prequel to the movie, I think they did leave it open for a second season.
Mm-hmm.
So it sets up the battle between the Skeksis and the elves, the little elves, gelflings.
Yeah.
Not the elves, gelflings. So hopefully, what I would like to see in the next season is hopefully they could do one more. They don't have to carry this on. They could do enough to where in the second season where it can set up in the beginning until the end of the last episode of season 2 should set up the beginning of the movie of the original film, and that will tie off, kind of like close that out. So I think if they do it like that, then it'll be a success. That's just me though. So as far as what I've seen in lately, I've been able to go to the movies here recently due to the fact of, 1, the Cinemark Movie Awards points, and 2, the Alamo Drafthouse. I don't know if y'all have one in y'all's area, but they do have a deal where you can buy one ticket and get one ticket free. You don't have to be an awards member, because I thought you did, but apparently they do have weekly deals on certain movies where they get a bunch of movies and you can buy a ticket and you get one free. So basically, you're essentially paying between $8 to $11 depending on what time you go see the movies.
That's not bad to get out of the house.
No, it's not.
See something different, yeah.
So all you really need for movies these days, if you have the rewards points or if you go with these deals, all you need is a good $30, which is
For your
$10
supper and your movie. Yeah.
that, and you get your little popcorn and drink stuff like that, whatever. Unless if you plan to eat there, then that'll be another extra $10 right there on top of that. So it's kind of cheap to go to the movies these days compared to it was 2-3 years ago where you would spend about $50 altogether. But movies I did eventually see because we usually go by releases that have been out the longest as to opposed to just going out there with the newest release. So we did go see last weekend. We did go see Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, which is really good. I really enjoyed that film a lot. I don't remember much about the first film because I've only seen it once, and that was when in the theaters. But
Yeah.
that movie is based on Sleeping Beauty, so you kind of have, if you know Sleeping Beauty, so that's pretty much what it is. It's just the only reason why they call it Maleficent is they incorporate more of her adopted mother, Maleficent, into that more. So, and this one in the sequel, it's more about Maleficent in general and her relationship with her daughter and as a person and how she grows into a person that she is now. And it did leave it open for a third one. And if they don't make a third one, that's okay. I'm cool with that. So then I saw what was it? The Joker. Joker as well.
Yeah.
And we've already talked about it in the last episode. And I can't wait for y'all to see that whenever that is, so that we can have a discussion panel on that and our thoughts on that, because I think you'll be taken away from what you see in your perspectives of how that movie is as far as based on what compared to the comics and compared to reality. And that's one thing a lot of people are not understanding when they hate on this movie is because they want a Nicholson Joker, they want a Ledger Joker, they don't want a Leto Joker, but they do want something that derives from the comics. Sometimes that only gets you so far, so it's okay to have something different. It's just kind of like how I'll give you an example. Kind of like how when they did the Turtle reboot, when Michael Bay took that franchise and made it to what it was, then even though it wasn't successful, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't bad like that. A lot of people hated on it because it was pretty much Transformers all over again, which, yeah, in a way, yeah, it was kind of, but it had its own story and it had its own character where it was vastly different from what it was compared to the cartoons that we grew up and loved so much. If you rehash the same shit over and over again, of course it's going to get stale. You have to switch it up every now and then. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Well, I'm pretty sure they do, but they don't want to accept the fact because they're so clingy when it comes to their childhood and stuff. And I don't mean to get off subject here, but it's just it does kind of irritate me when people have that statement when they say, "Oh, you ruined my childhood." You didn't ruin anything about your childhood. You had a good childhood. You had some memories that you bring forth that you have of your childhood. This stuff is just set up for today's audiences and stuff, But anyways, that could be a discussion for a different time, different place. But anyways, so those are the two movies I saw recently as far as that goes. Tonight, we will be seeing another movie. It's an Asian film called Parasite. It's been out for about a month now, and so
I've heard good things about it. I heard it's really disturbing.
Yeah, I heard that's one reason why we're going to
Japanese horror is a whole other ball game than our style horror.
So, and this is a South Korean film. So, and the guy that directed this one, I've seen we've seen several of his other films, like The Host. Look that up. That's a monster movie. I think y'all would really like that, especially you, Kevin. And also look at what's it called? Mama. It's South Korean film. Yeah, and
Mama, the one with the girls in the house and
Mhm.
They find him. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I've seen that one a few times. I like that.
Yeah, that's got the guy who was Jamie Lannister from Game of Thrones.
And
The brother that took over raising him. Or...
He played both roles. He was the deadbeat dad, and he was the brother.
That's...
but you have to check the South Korean film. That's what it's based
Oh, you're
on.
saying there's a Korean version of the same movie?
The original.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, check that out. I think y'all will really enjoy that one. But we will be seeing Terminator Dark Fate, I think, next weekend or whenever we decide to go to the movies again. That's going to be the next one up.
Well, I look forward to hearing your take on Parasite.
Okay. So,
Kev, you got anything you've been holding your entertainment at the job or anything with the very little downtime y'all have?
Well, we went this week kind of doing a pawn shop hunting, and I've been finding all these, immaculately conditioned DVDs for 50 cents.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been buying a ton of old movies, checking them out. But you know what I've been watching? Streaming. I don't know why I've been watching it, but I watched all three of the, was it Nukem High? The spinoff from Toxic? The people that wrote Toxic Avenger.
Oh, there was a spinoff from that? I didn't know.
Yeah, it was about a high school called Nukem High. It's
the
same writers. I watched all three of those. They were terrible.
Wasn't to Kevin's standards, huh?
They were terribly good.
What was that hunt you guys did for the DVD player for your job?
Man, my partner ended up buying it with his money, but I wanted it. I was like, hey, bud, I don't want you to spend the money. I'll buy it. Because they gave him it was a Blu-ray player in immaculate condition. He got a remote control, and he got like a 3-foot HDMI cable, all for the $15.
That's not bad.
And then he got In Living Color season 1, the complete season for 99 cents.
So he got a Blu-ray player, the remote, and they hooked him up with the HDMI cable too.
Yeah, they gave it all to him. $15.
And it was in perfect condition. It plays beautifully. There's nothing wrong with it.
And it talks. I didn't know they did that.
It talks.
This Blu-ray player.
Does it make recommendations?
Yeah, it's like, why are you playing this shitty movie?
Like, hey, this movie sucks. Eject now.
I mean, we have a lot. At that station, we have Amazon. It's one of our supervisors' Amazon accounts he has on there, and he loves sci-fi and superhero.
I don't know much about the Amazon streaming service. I know there's a lot of original programming on there.
Yeah, they got a lot of options. So
that's where the Lord of the Rings series is going to be.
Yeah,
they're doing a Lord of the Rings series takes place during the Second Age, leading up to the events of Sauron, physical mantis, where he does the battle. So it will lead up to the events of the movies.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're spending a ton of money in it.
I bet. They're going to be another 12-hour trilogy.
Well, next episode we'll have some feedback on Disney Plus because that comes out Tuesday. Nice. I'm not sure if I'm getting it or not this Tuesday. I would like to get it on launch day. But like I said, we've had a very expensive weekend. Christmas trees, decorations. Stepdaughter's birthday. She turned 15 today. So may have to hold off.
Is she going to get a quinceañera?
Huh? Yeah.
Y'all going to do a quinceañera?
Yeah, pretty much.
Quinceañera. Man,
I did watch The Shining.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
I saw The Shining for the first time in my life.
What'd you think of it?
I hadn't seen it until yesterday.
Wow.
Like it?
Yeah, Sam's been wanting to watch it big time because she's seen it in the past and she's a huge Stephen King reader. And the more and more I watch stuff based on his work, the more I love it. Like Castle Rock on Hulu, both of the It remakes. I mean, now I'm like in this mode where the more Stephen King, like I really love Dark Tower. I don't know why that's so criticized. Yeah. I thought it was really good.
That was panned by critics and like-minded alike. You know, that bombed. And they were expecting that to be the next big thing as far as the trilogy goes. It didn't even make it.
They sure didn't. No, and that's a shame.
And they
But
put him
should've
up
been
in
Doctor
actress.
Sleep is in theaters right now.
Can't
And
wait to
Yeah.
see that.
before she and I go see that, I wanted to see The Shining, so I would have
Yeah.
some
Did
background.
you like it? Give us your feedback.
It
on
was really long.
Yeah.
It kind of lost my attention a couple of times because there's a lot of mundane stuff happening in the background. But I do have to say, I love, for a film as old as it is, it's as old as I am and debuted in the year we were born, 1980. I love the cinematography of the film. I know it's part of the hotel itself is almost like another character in the film.
Yeah.
Just the gaudiness of it and how lashed and lush and the massive size and the scenery. And I thought Nicholson was amazing with his role as Jack Torrance. The way he could go from really, really pleasant to the employer, the potential boss, and all that, and then the way he was behind the scenes with just his wife and kid, and how short he was with them, and how he didn't want to be bothered, and the wife was scared to do anything that would upset him. And I thought he did amazing with that role, and I could see why the way he played in that film, why he was chosen to be Joker in '89. You know? He just has that right amount of crazy to him, you know. So it didn't end the way I expected. I was shocked by the ending. I was really expecting it to go worse than it did. So I can see why there's a sequel, and we'll see why Michael is still screwed up all these years later, obviously after experiencing something like that. So,
as grown up now.
or Doc, as he goes by.
Yeah.
Huh? Danny? Oh, I don't know why I called him Michael. His name's Danny. His name says. But what kind of ice cream you like, Doc?
Vanilla.
You guys don't mind if I give him some ice cream, do you?
You got the shining, boy.
It was good. It was good. The Shine. Was The Shine the same thing in Dark Tower that they were trying to extract from people?
He likes to Stephen King implements a lot of these movies like they're all connected in a way or two. Like he uses dairy for a bunch of his movies. Like I was talking last time, I've read The Dark Towers, and Pennywise makes a cameo because that tower, like all these different dimensions meet up there, and Pennywise's dimension connects there too, and he even was mentioned in the novel.
Yeah,
So
they show a
like
balloon in Dark Tower.
Yeah,
because you gotta understand that anytime there's a book that he wrote or a film that he made, there's always something mentioned at that particular time when that was written or filmed that about a previous project that he did. You can connect the two if you pay attention and have read all the books and stuff and watched all the movies. It's all connected somehow in some way, shape, or form.
yeah.
So can a gunslinger like Ildra Ever's character in Dark Tower, could someone like that combat Pennywise, or no? Pennywise would like destroy them.
He's a demon with powers, so I don't know.
He could, but I don't think he would make it far.
He has to be really smart about it.
Well, Pennywise is like he preys on children because children are more, their fear is more, it's less diluted. That's the whole thing with Pennywise. As you become an adult, you start to, everything is not as potent as it used to be.
Right. Yep.
Well,
Yeah, I would definitely suggest, if you don't watch the movies, read some of he has some really good novels out there. I just read one called Dumas Keys, and it's a great story about this guy that he gets an arm chopped off, right? He owns a construction company, and he's doing well, and he ends up having an accident, and he gets an arm chopped off, and his family leaves him eventually, and like he just goes to shit. He becomes poor, and he moves off to Florida, and it gets real cool. He ends up developing some abilities. It's a good read, man. But it's like 1,000 pages, but
Yeah,
Those
his
pictures.
books are long. You know.
you don't mess
Yeah,
around.
he is criticized about how many details he writes about setting up a scene.
Right.
They're obvious. There's a lot of criticizers of that style. The
Well,
overly detailed explaining what a scene looks like. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Sam was
But-
telling me something about what the style writer he is.
Oh, he's a, yeah.
A pantser, and that means that he does not do outlines. He writes as
Just
it
goes
comes
with the
to
flow.
him.
Oh,
Whereas some writers have to do outlines first, and then they start writing based on their outlines. But
was
King
watching
can
that.
do it straight from here to the pen.
He has written so many books and he's made up so many characters. I was watching a Family Guy episode. They were making fun of him. He was sitting there in front of the guy that was going to publish his book for him, I guess the regular guy. And he was like, okay, I need you to give me a story by tonight. And he's like, well, this lamp comes to life. He just makes it up right there. He has nothing else to say.
He can do it on the fly.
He's already done everything. There's nothing else.
He
to write.
is the fourth most successful author in the history of the world. So
Makes sense.
dollar wise,
So many movies.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
His property is like being picked up for TV and movies all the time. I mean,
constantly, yeah. I mean,
I'm sure they
Harry
fight.
Potter
The
lady,
studios
you got-
probably fight over his scripts.
Yeah. Well, you got Tokens probably in there. What's the lady's name that did Harry Potter?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
probably up in there.
J.K.
Those are
Rowling, yeah.
Yeah, they're probably.
You got that guy that does military novels. He's the most successful author.
Clancy?
Not Clancy.
Uh,
Thinking of it. Hang on one second. I'll ask Google. 1 second.
while Harry's doing that, just a little side note on Stephen King and his properties. I did learn recently that he is now trying to get back all his stuff. Like, since Warner Brothers did the It movies, that property goes back to him. And same thing with the Pet Cemetery, and they did that remake, because once you sell out a property, you have so much time and to do things, and that's why a lot of these horror remakes are not getting made. Is because the original owners are wanting their properties back. That's why we haven't seen a Friday the 13th film yet, or another Nightmare on Elm Street. All those properties that were owned by the original people are now taking back their stuff. So that's why you're not seeing as many remakes as they originally were, because the studio has so much time to do it, and if they don't make it within that contract time, then that's when that property goes back. And so that's why a lot of these people that own like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, like Wes Craven, his family has ownership back from that property now. So New Line / Warner Brothers can't make another movie now because of the fact that his family took back that property. And now Stephen King, he now taking back the It property, the Pet Cemetery property, and whatever else that's out there that studios have made his films from his books. They can't do it no more because he's now gaining back all their stuff. So it might be a while before we see several films again when it comes to certain properties. So that's the thing with that thing, and it's crazy because a lot of people are getting angry because they're butchering, I guess you could say, butchering certain things, and it's just mainly now it's just cash grab, stuff. So a lot of people don't want that to happen no more. So that's why they're gaining back all their stuff now.
Well, we're way over on time, so we're gonna kill it here. Thank the usual watchers and supporters of the Savage Podcast. You guys know who you are. We appreciate it. Shout out to Lantern Toys. Shout out to the team at StreamYard for the StreamYard app. this has really changed how easy it is for us to capture these and get them to Kevin so he can touch them up and get them uploaded. And as usual, big thanks to Kevin because he's the one that does manage all this crap and on top of everything and run his channel. So, I mean, the Savage Podcast without what Kevin sacrifices, and this is a guy that works 100 plus hours a week. So it would be nothing without, what he does to keep this alive. So, man, we appreciate you. But I know that this app has changed the game as far as us being able to, if you haven't tried it out yet, it works with Android devices. It works with iPhones, PC, Chromebooks. It doesn't matter. If you can get on the internet, StreamYard can help you get connected so you can do. Well, something like this was impossible on Google Hangouts.
Yeah.
So thank you, StreamYard. We appreciate you. And I know you're going to email me when this is done asking me to get the paid version. I'm still not going to get the paid version.
It would be nice, but it's pricey.
Not yet.
All right,
Not yet. We
We can take
Until
this off
Leonard-
later.
Till Leonard picks us up officially and sends
Yeah.
us checks.
I've looked up the Leonard website, and I've
Leonard.
already got the email and everything, but I still haven't.
You're like, hey guys,
But I got the email. I want to send him an email.
let's talk toys.
We'll do it.
In here.
We'll do
Thank you guys.
Give
Thank
me-
you for making 10 happen, making it a reality. It's been a journey. I'd like to see it, run its course and continue. And I know it's going to be difficult with the coming weeks as the holidays grow closer, but we will do our best. And that's all we can do. Until then, never give up that hunt. Buy what you love, not what you like.
And
We'll catch you on the next upload.
deuces.
You